Enigma of the Startunnels, a Bionic Trousers production, starring Kathleen as Inspector Asair, Quarry as Robbie Ride, Cameron as Yuri Armstrong, Ian as Crankor, and Beej as Carfax Seagull, with Dale Friesen as your narrator. Today's episode, The Calamity Beyond the Fabric of the Universe. After repairing their stolen ship at Space Station Upsilon, our heroes hastened through the nearby gate into the Star Tunnel itself. Despite their discovery that Sector Romeo Sierra was where ships and their crews had been vanishing, they raced in that very direction. Now they near the spot where a mysterious device is blasting a hole in the wall of the Star Tunnel itself. As they descend into the maw of peril and certain death, will they prevail against all odds, or is this the end for our heroes? So you guys are in the ship, you're on the bridge, and the interference from this device that is sending this digging beam out into the wall of the Star Tunnel has finally overwhelmed your sensors, and all you can see is what you can see out the windows. You no longer have any sort of long-range sensors.
Is this the end? Have we finally come to the end of our journeys?
If we have, please slow down quite slowly.
Also, I'm here now.
Oh, you've woken up, Fury!
Yes, the auto dock has finished reupholstering all my soft tissue after the decompression incident.
Supple!
I'm also back. I was running an inventory of everything and every single object on the ship. We got a vat full of yeast, a disabled plasma cannon, a tool chest, some paintbrushes, a half mile of hemp rope, and a reality anchor.
Supple!
I think he means the rope.
Question.
Yes,
Explain
Yuri.
reality anchor, please.
I think that's more of a question for a scientist.
Oh. Reality is this like a ship's anchor, only for reality?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then forget I said anything.
If you're going to be sending something outside the universe, and you want something to hang on to, this is it.
Oh. Handy that. Spoilers.
Well, we've come as far as the ship can take us. We still have yet to lay eyes on that device.
Well, we won't have long to work once we find it. During my time in recuperation on Space Station Upsilon, I overheard the Imperial Marines talking about how they were on their way here. News.
How utterly delightful. I'm sure that the Imperial Marines will add a delightful element of chaos to this whole repair operation. By the way, I can't see anything and I'm not a very good pilot. Should maybe I slow down a bit?
Yes, but slowly.
I'll do my best.
Best to keep most of Carfax inside Carfax.
Could I have a pilot?
Oh,
check,
sure.
please?
In that case, it will be average.
All right, average is enough to slow down without hurting anyone who doesn't have a delicate stomach. It's also enough to maneuver things around so that out the window, you can see the machine that has a great big green circle on it that's sending a beam out into nothingness, which has a big hole in it.
There it is, the chartreuse hoop. We've arrived at Romeo Sierra.
Can I have the fate points?
Finally. Hey, has anybody seen my fake character sheet? Just realized it wasn't underneath
the
all
stack?
of this here.
Is it?
Aha!
Oh, thank you.
Good job making the roll without your character sheet.
All right.
Well, I just remembered it was average. So I was like,
May I attempt a science roll using... Does our stolen ship have any kind of sensor suite?
Yes, happily, it's not going to be too complicated for you because most of the long-range functionality is being interfered with by the machine.
Okay. I would like to see exactly what these naive morons think they're up to.
All right.
So, would this be affected by our +5?
Yes.
Dealing with star tunnel physics.
Yes, the plus is not from your character sheet, but from the other sheet for your actual race, not your cover race.
Okay. Spoilers. +4. Or +9, actually. Well, that's lucky. Beginning at 9, 8, 7, 6, 7.
That still runs us at a what?
Epic.
7?
Epic success.
So with your epic success, what they are trying to do, and happily this equipment in the ship is all also green circle, so you have their documentation when you're working with this, is they're trying to release the poor hole worms that are inside the walls of the star tunnels, empowering them. That's what the green circle is trying to do.
That's a horrible idea. The hole worms, and they don't need to be empowered. They're quite powerful enough as they are.
But how are they powering the laser without the Crisparian relics? Carfax, do you think they have the little one? Or the much bigger one?
They might have the much bigger one. Do we still have the medium one?
We do.
Yes, we do. I wonder if maybe they have one or both or either.
I mean,
So, your scientist hasn't seen this, so this is something you could share with him and he could analyze it.
Please do.
oh, you haven't heard about the Casparian relics. Carfax is looking to put together a grouping of attractive spheres for his coffee table, and they come in large, medium, and small size. We have liberated the medium size from the green circle base, and it seems to be quite powerful. They were using it to generate some sort of energy that then they could convert into matter because they didn't really know what they were doing with it. But apparently, there's 2 more that Carfax is looking for.
Yes, they're supposed to be used as a set of 3. You need all 3 in order to achieve balance with them. If you try to use just one, it might go out of control, which is why we had to ensure that the green circle, yes?
Yes.
We had to ensure the green circle did not continue to utilize it and perhaps put all of Titan City at risk. But I have it here. It's in the hatch, in the hover chair that you so gratefully brought on board. Thank you for doing that again. It's not quite the right size, but I slided about it very little.
Happy to oblige. Okay. So, medium size?
Yeah.
Red box size.
Bread box size? Small?
Back that up,
The
Carfax.
small one is
Get the
probably
round
pretty
thing in
small.
his
The
face.
big one we said was about the size of a house.
Are we currently inside the large one?
You know, I never thought to look.
Yeah, maybe they come in a set of 4.
No, I was quite certain that it was 3. I remember very little from the old days, but there's one thing that came across very clearly, is that the third one is there's only 3.
Can I use the one that we've liberated? Presumably Carfax has brought it along with him?
It's a chair.
It's in the hatch in the back of my hover chair.
Oh, okay, yes, right.
Just reach in behind me, mind the goo,
Don't jostle him.
or else there'll be more goo.
This is not from Tuvalu.
Okay. Is that... Okay.
It's an orb.
It's from Carfax.
It's an orb with a flat bottom, so you can actually set it down, and it won't roll around.
It's organic. Not,
Let me just get a towel
not
in
the
there and
orb.
just wipe that all up. Just shove it back.
Can I use this to calibrate the ship's instruments to find another one?
Not easily, but yes.
Okay. So if
Can
I
I
were to
help?
use this one, please do.
All right, so first I want you to just take a look at it with your
Okay.
sciencey stuff.
Let's...
Specialize.
My specialize. I specialized. +7. Another epic success.
Lovely. So, this is the template that they were using to create the machine that's out there. They studied this sphere a lot, and even though it's only this big, they had to make that thing that's, bigger than a minivan to replicate it, and that's how they figured out how to make that beam that's digging a hole in the vacuum of space.
Can I discern how to disable it without collapsing this or neighboring universes?
Yes, but you'd have to do it from the device. So you're going for a spacewalk. Or you're using the manipulator arm to drag the device into the cargo hold, but I should warn you that it is currently running at full power.
That seems inadvisable.
Oh, spacewalk is very dangerous. If a whole worm were to come along, they would swallow you whole. They are predators, after all.
It's right there in the name.
Whole worms.
I would imagine that a whole worm would be capable of swallowing us whole, ship or not.
You make a good point.
The one you saw was kind of a small one, and it was about 2 miles long.
I hate space. Very much.
So, assisting on this calibration.
Yeah. Please.
Epic.
All right, so you have succeeded with style in creating an aspect that's going to assist in all of this.
Okay.
So you get a free invoke on that. Translates to +2, and you can keep invoking it with your fate points if you're
Okay.
into that sort of thing.
Sounds good. So let's try and locate, or I want to get some kind of idea how to interrupt this device.
Okay.
Without, as we established, when I go on my spacewalk, what am I hoping to accomplish? +2, you say? 4, 5, 6. Epic!
All right. So with your epic success, because you're so good at this, you have a set of instructions that are currently coming out on the dot matrix printer on the other side of the bridge. And once it's out, you can tear the tractor feed paper off, and the paper will fold up by itself, and you can take it out with you, and that will be of great assistance while you're out there. Now, what you don't know is you don't have any idea what kind of security is on there, because that information has all been erased from the ship's database.
So we don't know if this device is even crewed?
Correct.
Okay.
And even if it's not, you don't know what you might find when you get over there. So what I'm trying to say, Cameron, is that splitting the party is inadvisable.
I will require an escort.
Thank you.
I'm willing to go.
Oh God, thank God.
I haven't been on a spacewalk in millennia. I'm quite excited for this prospect.
Hang on, you're all going.
Of course.
You can't leave me here.
Well, then you should come with us, Carfax.
Oh God. Fine, right. I'll get in the bubble and I'll join you.
So is this one of the emergency bubbles, or do you have a personalized spacesuit?
I'm gonna emergency bubble.
Okay.
It's the only thing that's gonna fit me on this ship. I didn't think I'd be going outside.
Can we fit you directly into one of the bubble heads of our regular suits?
I don't think you'd want me in there with you. After all, I'm 2 foot round and I only weigh 15 pounds, but oh, am I gooey.
That is a bit too large. So sad. They're quite comfortable.
Shredder, build me a body.
Oh, Krang was such an adorable scamp.
So, since we're using one of their ships, would it make sense for us to talk to them and let them know that we're here, since they can probably see us if we can see them?
Ah, the old Imperial shuttle gambits.
Probably. Let's open hailing frequencies.
Okay, Crankor, you got this?
I think I do. I'm pretty good at this.
All right, so being pretty good at this, you have managed to get the communicator so that you think it's going to pierce through the interference. Now, you're not getting any sort of acknowledgement, so you're not going to know whether they heard it or not, let alone what sort of response they're sending, unless they can somehow also break through the interference. They haven't managed to send you any information.
I wonder if there's perhaps a way that we could analyze the interference to cancel out what it's doing, and we could get a more accurate sensor read. Perhaps I could use the Evaluatron to sort of look at the wavelengths or something like that, and then do some sort of additive thing like they do in sound editing.
Oh, give that a try. I have another idea as well.
What kind of check do you want me for that?
I mean, your Evaluatron is typically an investigation because this is just going to be analyzing.
Okay.
It's going to give you the information. It's not going to be the creation.
The Evaluatron did a great job.
All right. So you have a great analysis of all this interference, which is this energy that's ripping a hole in the fabric of reality. So, turning the knobs on the radio, you can try to get different scree-ish sounds, but the tearing of the hole in the fabric of reality is not something that's programmed into this device to cancel.
Right. So this is less of a noise-canceling headphones situation and more of a very atoms screaming in agony kind of deal. So I don't think we can actually do my plan, but it was very exciting to look.
I have one further plan. Can someone find me a tin can, or a can of any sort, and a wire?
You have the inventory.
Is there a can of beans down there?
Let's check the galley, yeah. I was mostly interested in objects rather than foodstuffs.
If anyone eats a can of beans before going on a spacewalk, I have very harsh words for them. I'm leaving you out there.
I have a great investigate role in the galley.
Okay, so
First, my question is, are you intending to use some tin cans and a string when maybe a visual media of communication would be more appropriate?
Visual mediums might be difficult to use electronically. This uses good old-fashioned physics. The vibrations of people's voices will be traveled along the wire to the can.
While I am not a scientist, I do believe that vocal vibrations need to travel through a medium such as an atmosphere.
Correct, which is why we use a magnet to attach the wire to the hull of the ship, thereby allowing the vibrations to transfer down the wire and to the tin can, thus negating the need for a medium like air.
I mean, we could probably try to resonate the hull of their ship using something larger.
So this isn't a ship, this is a great big drilling thing. So you can try to shake it if you like, while it's busy boring a hole in the fabric of reality, causing its atoms to scream.
You're right, they might all be deaf.
I found you a tin of Calamity olives.
Good enough, I'll eat those.
Should we assume the device is manned?
That's what we're trying to figure out. Sure, let's assume that the device is manned.
Let's just assume.
Then,
And they're hostile.
and they're hostile, except that we're in a ship that belongs to the same company that they're working on behalf of, correct?
Yes.
So they might trust us, correct? So what if we give them a warning that they definitely have to not ignore? Such as, hole worm incoming.
But how?
Their entire plan focuses on liberating the hole worms. They might react positively to
Yeah,
this.
the green circle thinks that the hole worms are the good guys.
We have to tell them that we're...
Killing a hole
You
worm.
have reminded me of a good point in that we could very likely dock or move our ship much closer to the device
Yeah,
without spacewalking across a vast distance in the star tunnels
What
of
if-
instability.
What if we get up right close to them and put a sign up in the window that says, "We're coming over and we have tea and cake." Nobody dislikes tea and cake. They'd probably welcome us even if they were hostile.
All you need is a fair result on your pilot check and you can get right next to it.
Oh, goody. Let's do that.
If you're very good at piloting, might I suggest trying to back it in directly
Oh, I'm not that
into
good at piloting.
You might be better than you think!
No, I'm very average. Hey, all right, but today I'm good.
Excellent. So you pull it up. There are no windows in this thing, and it does look like one big machine.
Is there a door of any kind?
There would be like maintenance hatches.
Excellent.
This does not look like something that has a crew.
Oh, well, we don't need to worry about the tea and cake sign. We can keep that for ourselves.
Then are we going to just spacewalk inside the maintenance hatch?
Yes.
Let's suit up.
What a unique experience!
What a charmingly primitive and destructive device.
Someone tether me to your suit.
Here, you can ride with me!
Have we developed any kind of have we developed any kind of aptitude for wearing spacesuits yet?
So, if any of you are specialized in spacesuit stuff, this is a really good time to use that, or zero-G or vacuum stuff. All of that applies. Otherwise, you're either going to give me a straight either acrobatics or physique roll.
Athletics?
Athletics.
Okay.
I'll give you physique.
I knew it was one of those A words.
Ooh,
I am a superb.
I'm good.
Wow.
Much better this time.
I
No
am-
one loses an eardrum.
Average.
So if you are superb, you have succeeded with style
Nice.
and can help whichever pathetic people are about to fail their rolls.
Oh,
You become much better at this.
I am merely fantastic.
So you can also help any failures.
Okay.
I am average, and I'm tethered to his body.
We're going to die! I mean, not together or today.
So,
Unless
Oh,
you
Crankor,
want.
let's not mince words. We're functionally immortal.
All right, everyone suited up? You got your booties? Yes? All right.
so these were the rolls for the spacewalk.
Okay.
And I feel like what I would like now is an explanation from the superb and the fantastic of how you saved those two and their failures to
From
land
drifting
on it.
into
Yeah.
the beam.
We've forgotten to tether ourselves to something other than each other.
At least we'll be safe always.
You've always been a rock to me. Unfortunately, we're in zero gravity where rocks do what they want.
That felt like very authentic dialogue, actually, for the genre.
Little do they know that beforehand Yuri did all the calculations. Foreseeing that they would be useless lumps of mass in zero gravity.
We just in orbit around the thing.
So also they're tethered together, and I'm gonna say that Crankor's suit has a handle on the back that he can grab onto and hold. He thinks he's driving. He's not driving.
I'm not the rider. I'm the motorcycle.
Okay, so it sounds like all of you get to this massive thing, and you're just fine. Just get over there
I'm having a lot of fun.
doing your you.
I'm moderately nauseous. Nothing new?
So was I the first time I did this.
All right, so we swing on over.
Yes, and may, if you like, attempt a notice check.
Can I use the Evaluatron to, like, look at this thing?
Sure.
All right, I will do that instead of noticing.
Well, mediocre. I've noticed.
Good.
Mediocre's.
Zero.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The Evaluatron does superbly at evaluating this drilling machine.
All right. So you're concentrating on evaluating the drilling machine. Did anyone? What was the best result of the notice checks among the other four?
Good.
So good will give you a little bit of information.
Thank you.
When I close my eyes, it becomes dark.
Down the line of the beam, through the hole in the universe, you can see into the fabric of the wall of the tunnel. If you think of it as natural rock, this has been drilling in, and there is a cave that this has broken into, and you see motion inside the cave, including some humans. And that's all you can see with a good.
Okay.
The wall of the tunnel is not rock, but rock is the best metaphor we're going to have for this. Also, the set for the place the humans is in is an old stone quarry.
Okay. Yeah. Ah, my goodness, they've broken through. Looks like they've sent some people down there to investigate.
What?
Seems like a bad idea with the beam still active.
Even I wouldn't do that.
So, you've been evaluating this.
Yes.
And you can see that there is an energy buildup, and within the next 15 minutes at the outside, there's going to be enough of a particle buildup that all of the organics in the area are going to get sucked down the beam into the place that was just described.
Oh, let's turn this thing off immediately.
Is this communicated to me?
I just said they were dumb things. So
Yeah, like we all have our radio watches.
we're also standing like right next to each other.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Let's say they're cell phone receivers, and maybe it's like staticky.
May I attempt a roll to discern the nature of the little ones inside the cave?
Sure. Now that you know they're there, you can
Investigate?
Sure.
Okay. I do a fair job.
Now, there is a device on top of this machine. If you want, you can use it. It's kind of a swivelly cone. It's kind of a spyglass. For a fate point, I'll let you use that while you're looking through it. All right.
Happily.
So, what does that bring you to?
Fate point is 3?
2.
2.
I can't believe I didn't see
Great.
that over there.
You're looking down there, and you see there are maybe 100 humans dressed only in. Most of them are just wearing cotton underwear, and they have chains tethering each other's ankles, like they're all chained together by the ankles. And they have pickaxes, and they're digging into the side of the wall of the universe. You can't hear if they're singing.
How industriously literal.
This is the crew that was on the freighter.
Right, all the missing organics.
This is the missing organic matter. They've been enslaved somehow.
And they're a choir.
Yes, you can see their little mouths moving.
So what happens if we disable the drilling device while they're down there? Is the drilling device not cutting the hole itself?
So this is where the metaphor falls apart, because you're either going to have it wrecking the wall or reassembling the wall. Or you're going to turn it off entirely, but turning it back on and calibrating it precisely seems impractical.
Especially without all 3 orbs.
So if we, just to clarify, if we turn it off, the wall will start healing itself. The hole in reality will start knitting back together.
No, if you turn it off, it will stay exactly as it is.
Okay.
But turning it on to be pointed at the exact precise spot will be brutally difficult. If you just flip the dial from dig to reassemble, the beam will change from red to blue and start reintegrating the wall of the universe.
So what we need to do is rescue these Calvin Klein underwear models, who all look quite fetching, with their magic pickaxe and ankle chains, and then flip the wall from suck to blow, or flip the machine from suck to blow, and fix the universe.
So the trick is going to be getting out of there once all of your organic bits have been sucked into it.
Or we just leave them behind.
I'm sure they'll regenerate into something more important.
But humans don't do that,
Well,
Crankle.
Then they can always make more, can't they?
That's
Their
true.
own people weren't willing to come over here and get them themselves.
So
They must have
this
done
is
something
where
terrible.
The reality anchor could be a help to you. Because if you stretch, like if you have, I don't know, a bunch of organic
100
shirts
feet of hemp.
or a bunch of hemp, you could tie one end to the reality anchor. Because this is the thing you were analyzing earlier.
Right, yes.
And as an organic, the hemp would get sucked into the hole, but one end would still be out here and you could climb out.
How do we pull these people out through space, though? They don't have spacesuits.
What if they hold their breath?
What if we manufactured some sort of a winch for the ship?
We've got about 15 minutes before this whole thing goes into overdrive and sucks us all in whether we like it or not.
So are you suggesting that we tie the anchor to the ship, send the ship down the middle to where they are, and bring them onto the ship?
Correct. In fact, we don't even need a winch. We can just use the thrusters on the ship itself and wrap the hemp rope around the outside, turning us into a glorified yo-yo.
That seems exceptionally unpleasant for all of the humans inside the tunnels.
More unpleasant than death?
I mean, we can just tell them to hold on to something.
We've all died.
I would say that some of them are going to complain about it even if they don't die, so...
I mean, they're humans. I can't imagine what you could possibly do at this point that will not result in them complaining at you.
It is their fate.
That's the funny thing about humans, isn't it? Is that they always just complain.
It makes them feel better.
Just noise in general.
It's probably because each one is a million times as unique as a snowflake, and once killed, they'll never come again. Ever. Not even if the universe were to be broken and remade a million times over. Does this plan stand any chance of success? I
doubt
wonder to
it.
myself.
I respond out loud with my brain thoughts.
If we can use the reality anchor on one end of the ship, have the ship sucked into the beam itself.
So
in
the
some
beam
way.
only sucks in organics.
Okay, so we use the hemp rope
Right.
on the end of the anchor. The hemp rope is sucked in.
Yes. One end of the hemp rope is sucked in.
Yes.
You park the ship close to the hole, and they would have, 5 or 10 seconds of exposure to vacuum, which they will hate, and they will complain bitterly to you about it.
But you've dealt with that, haven't you? And it's not that bad. You got the bits, you got all the insides reupholstered, and now you're fine, better than ever.
Humans have a difficult time being reupholstered. It was extremely unpleasant.
Sorry, Dale, I'm unsure about the size of our ship, the green circle ship we stole.
Oh,
I thought it was like minibus sized or a little bigger.
that was a different ship
It was a
that you
different
stole.
ship that we stole.
Yes, this one is
Are you
much
sure it
larger
wasn't
than
the
that.
other ship that we stole? That one was also...
You've stolen 3 or 4 ships by this point. Right now
quite the
you are in
armada.
the
What's
ship
been the return
that
on
they
those?
used to put this machine in place.
So it's very large and it has enough room for 100 souls.
Yes.
All right, what if we tie
How
a note
about
to the
bodies?
anchor that says, hold on, we're going for a ride. Or maybe we should send somebody who's extremely charismatic in. So you'll be able to convince as many people as possible, because we'll have a very short window of time.
We've got paint and paintbrushes. We can just paint the message on the outside of the
Leave
ship.
it to me.
Just
I'll bring them home.
You're volunteering, Crankle?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
I have somewhat of a knack for getting people on my side.
Very well. While you do that, the rest of us must work quickly.
What will the rest of you be doing?
Tying the reality anchor to the rope, preparing the rope to be sucked in, moving the ship to a safe distance away so that we aren't...
painting a friendly slogan on the side of the ship so that the newcomers will trust us.
Yes.
So,
And also, one of us will probably need to gain access to the drill in order to prevent it from continuing this.
And flipping the switch once all the people are safely extracted.
okay, so you're...
Although we probably don't have such a time delay on that, like...
Well, I mean, once you get back, it's literally a switch.
It's
Yeah.
just on the outside?
Yeah.
Oh, we can see it? It's not like...
Yeah.
Okay.
You could, if you tell me we change it and we're leaving all of those people inside of the wall of the universe forever to die, then we jump to thank you for watching Dice Friends. Next week we will have Dusk City Outlaws.
Spoilers. Yeah, no, we're going down the road.
Do Do we really know any of these people on the other end of the rope?
Well, I can see through the spyglass. Some of them look quite nice in their underwear.
Good enough for me.
Who wants to stay? The Evaluatron has told me that this machine in about 15 minutes is going to go into overdrive and suck all organic matter into the walls of the universe, whether we do anything or not. Therefore, somebody should stay with this device with the timer, and if it looks like it's going to go, flip the switch from suck to blow or whatever it is. The analogy here.
I don't know if it was like all organic matter or just like super suction. Was
Yeah.
it like
It's-
all organic matter in the universe?
No, just in the local area. This is the thing that...
So if we're inside
Right.
the ship,
This is what has happened to all the people in there. This,
Yeah.
this is why the ship went over...
if we're inside the ship, the reality anchor would protect us from the suction.
If you're hanging on to the reality anchor,
Okay.
the moment you let go of the anchor, you'll get sucked in.
Do we have tethers on our suits that we can use to tie to the anchor?
I have a handle.
I'm not going to give you anything that makes it easier for you to split the party.
You'll have to make it
To
yourself.
split the party, I just wanted to know if I can tie something to the reality anchor.
Let's pretend that we can get down
Or if
and
I'm
back
literally
up and
rolling
change
to
it
save from
after.
death.
We can change the direction of the beam after we're done
Okay.
with the people.
Right. Or if you have some sort of inorganic timer, you could do that. Or you could say, well, it's taken longer than 15 minutes. You know, we could just switch it now and go down.
Dr.
Or-
Armstrong, at the current rate, how long do you think it will be before the wall is eroded to the state where a 2-mile-long whole worm could escape?
Guess high.
May I attempt this roll?
Yes, but the 2-mile-long whole worm has already escaped through this hole.
Okay.
So whatever answer you get will be some more or less accurate negative number.
Okay. So they're okay.
We also
Are
have-
we?
We also have to work quickly because the Space Marines are coming.
Well, it's like, do we have 15 minutes or an hour kind of thing?
I feel like you're down to about a minute.
Okay. Well, let's do that. Do
Let's
it
go.
then. Let's enact the plan that we've discussed.
All right, which I think is you tie the rope to the reality anchor, and you let the rope through the hole, and
Climb
then
down
you
the rope.
climb down the rope.
As a group.
Okay.
Okay. And then I assume we laser off the chains
With what?
with our laser pistols.
Your inorganic laser pistols?
But we can bring them with us, can't we? Or can we not even bring clothing?
Only organics go through the gap.
Okay.
So we'll also get exposed to the atmosphere.
All
Yes.
of my clothes are polyester.
There's a fad right now for cotton underwear.
It's a shame I never picked up on that fad.
Yuri,
Or underwear.
since we're all going to be exposed to the horrors of space, how was the whole innard reconstruction thing?
Explosive.
Delightful. I'm excited.
I'm not even concerned about underwear. You've been looking at my genitals the entire time and nobody said anything.
They're lovely. Carfax, what is the composition of your excretion?
Let's discuss that at length another time.
How did they get the chains inside the thing? And the
You don't know.
pickaxes?
But,
They're made of plutonium. Gotcha.
And the pickaxes.
right, so you could do that yourself if you had the time.
Okay.
We're talking about this particular hole.
Okay.
It has been poorly constructed with improvised material based on 1/3 of an ancient device.
Okay.
And it's not working properly. But as a billion-year-old tunnel caretaker, you know that you could, with time, come up with a way to do whatever you wanted with digging into that sort of cave.
Okay.
So, what you can infer from this is that someone else is involved in all this, not just the Green Circle.
Okay. Nefarious.
Oh no, I won't be able to bring the Evaluatron because it's not organic.
You could leave it watching things for you.
I will. Can I set it? There's no way to transmit from inside the tunnel, eh?
No, you could set it to jiggle the rope if anyone starts
Sure. And if I can I set it that if we don't come back in 2 hours, it's to flip that switch?
Sure.
I think that's more than enough time, right? Beep, boop, boop, boop,
That's
beep.
not going to be used against us later. You're right.
What about...
I'm mostly
The
concerned with
DM's here laughing and smiling. It's
Oh,
going
I
to go
know.
perfectly.
But like our character's motivation is fixing the star tunnels, and at some point it's got to come at like the cost of our own lives, if that's
Let's all
the end of
strip
it.
and go down the rope.
All right.
Inspector,
Yeah.
could you set the device to also have a condition if the Imperial Marines arrive?
What would you like it to do? Say hello? Do the tea and cake gambit?
Similarly, flip the switch if those unthinking brutes decide to start tampering with
Oh,
this.
that's true. They would absolutely try to take advantage of the star tunnels and the corresponding makeup. All right. All right, go forth, my metal friend. Beep boop.
All right, so the Evalutron knows what it's doing now because you've programmed it all, so it will.
Give that back to you. I miss him already.
He had a tiny mustache. I think it was expressing its inner gender there.
Oh yeah. I don't know
Or at
why.
least trying to.
I don't know why I gendered my Evalutron, but you know.
Should have asked it. I don't know.
I never thought to. Hopefully we come back so I can have a nice sit down and chat with it.
All right, so what are you using skill-wise for your descent down the rope, and what order are you going in?
Still 0G, right?
At this point, when you're starting out, it's 0G.
Yes.
From what you can see through the spyglass, it will not be 0G by the time you get down there.
Right. At some point, gravity kicks in.
I'm going first. I'm using athletics.
Cool. How'd you do?
Well,
So I was really hoping
good.
that we could.
All right. So you get down, and I will tell you what you see, but I think I want to know how people are doing in case they land on top of you.
perfect.
I will... Yuri will climb using physique.
Oof.
He does a superb job.
Excellent. Physique is more sort of stuff with your brawn, and athletics is more being nimble, but I think either of them will let you climb a hemp rope through 0G.
Well, that's good because physique is what I'm using as well. Die. Aha! Good.
Lovely.
Athletics, I guess. Average.
So, I think you can either let go of the rope while you're still in 0G, or you can get to the bottom with some rope burn.
Rope burn!
All right.
All right.
Put me where there's something to breathe.
I'm going to be using physique because I don't have athletics. Excellent. So I do good.
Lovely. So you guys are down by the 100 or so people with the chains on their ankles, and they kind of look at you. None of them are in spacesuits. It's fine to breathe down here. It smells very old and musty and possibly mildewy. And there's a hint of something from a long dead civilization, but that might just be because they also tampered in the destruction of reality, which is why they had to be ended. So the 100 or so people see you and are all talking at you at once with contradictory instructions like run away, or hey, grab that rope and get out of here, or unlock me first, or this is a really stubborn rock, can you grab a pickaxe and help me with it?
I'm getting a lot of mixed messages.
Little ones, stop talking.
Hold on, everybody. We're here to help you leave.
And when you start talking, a lot of the people kind of look at you in terror.
Okay.
And they're like, is that him? I don't think that's him. Maybe that's someone. Maybe. No, that's not him. It must be him. No, it can't be him. Who are you?
It is I, Crankor!
Wait, what?
Crankor! You know, Crankor,
Oh.
the unforgettable.
And then, sort of these little speakers kind of crackle to life. And coming out of them is, I heard that! Crankor, my old pupil! So it has come to this at last! And wow, this voice sucks. The people with their pickaxes are kind of running and hiding, and they're like, No, you've made him angry. Crankor, I was sure that you'd be coming for me at some point. I still am waiting for that term paper.
No,
Yes,
can't be.
it is I, Kringlor, Professor Kringlor.
No, my one nemesis.
You've only made one nemesis over the millennia. I applaud your discretion.
It's the only one you can remember, I imagine.
The only one still alive. Inexplicably.
There's so many parts of the Beta Quadrant I can't even go to.
So it is my hope that you are here to join forces with me.
Gringor, after what you did at Tau City 8, I have nothing but contempt for you and your ways.
Wait, hang on. Maybe we should go with this.
At Tau Ceti 8, I was just trying to do our original job when you came along and said that we had to save those cute little puppy girlons. Who cares about the puppy girlons? They barely had fire. It's the reason we were left behind 1 billion years ago was to keep the tunnels safe so that when our people come back to this universe, they will have a place to go. We're not here to save the indigenous populations. They're all gonna be dead by the time the rest of our people come back. You have to think big picture, my pupil.
Your mentor sounds like kind of a hard posterior.
He does make an important point, though. We are here first and foremost to make sure that these tunnels remain intact.
Right, so we can abuse the indigenous population however we want, so long as we do that.
Hold on, if I may ask, what was your name again? Cremulon?
Kringlor!
Kringlor! Kringlor, if you are trying to keep the tunnels intact, what's with the whole pickaxe thing? It's quite delightful, and sort of anachronistic, but perhaps is not the most useful way to keep the tunnels intact is to start digging into them very slowly and methodically in a way that makes the indigenous population upset.
You are much cleverer than my pupil. Yes, all right, I admit it. I have turned evil. I will not serve the people who abandoned me 1 billion years ago any longer. I don't want to be a tunnel maintenance worker anymore. So from now on, I'm just going to dig into a parallel universe and offer this one to them. Surely the masters of the whole worms must be willing to give me something for another universe.
Why didn't you just apply for a promotion?
Because our bosses aren't coming back to this universe for 1 billion years.
Yeah, so it seems like the perfect time to fob off to Alpha Tepeti 9. They've got lovely green trees there that swing in the breeze, very unique.
Yes, I've been to Alpha Tepeti 9. The trees were lovely, but I could be rich.
You could be rich anyhow. Think of long-term investments. You could game the stock market.
But the stock markets go away when the civilizations fall. Do you know how many civilizations have fallen in the last 1 billion years? Because I don't. I've lost count.
Seems like you would have been more in favor of a pump and dump style scheme over the course of maybe a few hundred years instead.
Ooh, so does that mean you're signing on with me? We could scheme together.
We could buy timeshares. I hear they're an excellent investment.
I'm evil, but I'm not that evil.
Well, this is going on. Can I surreptitiously signal to the enslaved little ones that it's maybe time to get going?
So they're still chained.
They have pickaxes.
Yes.
Give me that.
All right, give me a pickaxe skill.
Athletics. Or physique, I suppose.
Use your brawny muscles.
I had them upgraded. That is a great roll.
All right, so you have cracked the chain. You're just going to have to do that a few more times, and you'll have freed one person.
Well, don't just stand there. Help.
Well, I can see that this is going south. So either join me now, or we'll have to discuss this again at a later time.
Lore. Thank you. Kringlore, if you would like, perhaps you and I should have a discussion. It seems that we're probably more on the same page. And where exactly is your voice coming from?
So, I have an office building nearby, but you're not invited. But if you like, I'm about to teleport away, and I could teleport you after me, and then we could have a lengthy discussion off camera.
I think in this context, it might make sense to try to keep him distracted, so you guys have time to do whatever it is you're going to be doing here.
Okay, so you're going to go have a lengthy discussion off camera with Kringlore?
Carfax, is there any way that I know that you're very keen on getting the 3 orbs together for your coffee table.
Thank you.
Inspector Asayer made this one assumption once, and nothing is going to correct it.
I thought that was true.
I have a huge coffee table. It's about the size of a house, but a little bit bigger.
Yes, but since the 1 orb does generate electricity, is there any way that you could overload it and blow it up while you're talking with our bad guy as a sort of last resort?
It generates matter.
Encase him in honey. He'll find that sticky and unpleasant.
Or lucite.
Woo!
Either way, it'll be well preserved.
I can't
That's long enough. I'm just going to have to say a final farewell. Myrmidon, kill everybody. I'm teleporting away.
Take me with you.
Then, once you've killed everybody, teleport after me. Oh, yes, Master. Wait, I can follow you? How do I follow? Oh, he's gone. All right, time to activate my ultimate weapon. I'll show my master that I
Myrmidon. I've got a pretty good history with teleporters if you need a hand there. You just gotta ask.
So, one far wall that looked like it was a rock wall, like the rest of the quarry, turns out to have been a curtain. And it collapses down, and behind it, you see a great big gun that is rotating toward you. And this is a much bigger gun than a minibus. And I'm picturing, you probably have like a top-down view where the effect would be they've drawn this and then they're just turning the paper underneath, and then you see a drawing of it pointed right at you, and the gun kind of comes and it's just like chunk, and then there's like a little gun comes out the side, and then until there are about 20 smaller guns coming out of this main cannon that is pointing at one of you, possibly at random. And for those of you listening to the podcast, it's pointing at Crankor. And then Myrmidon has his goggles, and he's aiming it, and you can see he's firing. So you have a moment here, if you like, to try to dive out of the way. You don't have to.
Can I take the moment to throw a rock at Myrmidon?
Do we all have that moment, or is it just
far away
Crankor
is he?
is the one he's aiming at?
He's aiming at Crankor.
Okay.
He's I don't know, a couple 100 feet away. This
Arms
great
not that
big
good.
cannon thing.
No.
I look at all the enslaved miners and say, "Really? Not one of you thought to mention this?"
Well, we didn't know you were gonna make him mad. Also, you sound like him. We figured you were on his side.
Can I goo my way over to the chains and see whether or not my goo will dissolve them? Because I'm assuming that whatever he's using down here as a metal is probably not the same thing that I would be on. Maybe I can melt my way through some of these things and we can get everybody free in a hurry.
So
That's
you're
something else I
already
can do.
freeing some people. So you're gonna.
Snail my way over to them.
Yeah, I feel like you should have a stunt for this, but you had an unclaimed stunt, as I recall.
Yes.
So I think that you can use your goo. What kind of skill roll will
So-
you be making for
Physique.
goo manipulation?
So helpful secretions would be. It's gonna have to be physique,
Sure.
which is mediocre already to start with.
All right. Well, there are rules for proving that. So you
That's
can look
fair.
at that. So yes, you have a stunt, helpful secretions, and you can use your physique to do stuff like this.
So average.
So you two are just sort of working in the background while I'm busy blowing holes in Crankor.
What is Crankor doing?
I think rather than attempt to dodge, I just fall backwards.
Okay.
Yes.
So how quickly can you fall backwards? Can you give me an athletics check to sort of fall nimbly and
9.81 meters per second
Yeah,
squared.
that's exactly. I mean, I don't want to know what the gravity is here, but we'd have to ask the scientist about that. Oh my, that's not a good. I'm going to be falling very slowly.
You failed to fall?
I fell poorly.
So the roll is to see how quickly your reflex kicks in to fall backward. Because you're right, you're falling at gravity.
But it's like he's in slow motion and the rest of us aren't.
It was poor.
It was poor.
The roll was poor.
Let your backbone slide, dude.
That's
it's-
unfortunate. May I have my dice back so that I can roll to see how well I
You
do?
can have these back and never let me touch them again.
I hope you still have some moves after this.
Well, that's exciting. So, I'm doing 6 points of damage to you.
Oh, that
Now, how much stress do you have in terms of physical stress?
currently none.
Yes, how
None
much
applied.
can you take?
Oh,
Do you have a 4-point stress box, a 3-point stress box, a 2?
so the 3 and the 4 that are scribbled in, are those...
If they've been scribbled out on your physical stress,
Oh, they sure have.
both the 3 and the 4, it looks
Just
like you
the
have the 3.
fours.
Yeah, the 3s look to be rewritten in, so...
All right, so you can check off a 3 box, and that'll deal with 3 points of damage.
Ooh.
But I think you're going to have a 3-point consequence to deal with the other 3 points.
Ooh.
Now, a 3-point consequence is something pretty dire that means it's going to take a lengthy hospital stay to fix you. And I will allow you to tell us what your 3-point consequence is called.
Is it a limb? Is it fine motor control?
It was either going to be an eye or just a piece of missing skull at this point. Yeah, let's go with that.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's sounding more like a 4-point consequence if your skull's getting blown away.
No, just kind of hanging there.
All right.
Unsightly.
So I think we'll call it cracked skull.
Carfax
Sounds
notices
good.
and vomits all over the chains, which are also helpful secretions.
And that is a moderate consequence? Wait, no,
That is a 3-point consequence, or sorry, a 4-point consequence. Yeah. So I guess you could take a 2-point physical stress instead of a 3-point if you prefer.
Crankor!
Yeah, sure.
So actually, the moderate consequence, the cracked skull is too hard for that.
Okay.
Anyway, so you've got something bad happening to your face.
That sounds good. That sounds
Your
good.
nose is missing.
That's exactly what I was going to go with. Yes.
All right.
I no longer have a nose.
You sort of turn to the side as you fall, and just your nose gets like blasted off.
All right. So,
How unique, like Tycho Brahe.
It's just
Are
like,
you alive?
like in the Matrix when the agent like flips over at the ankles, only it goes directly up your nose. Like not quite far enough.
I was going to say something about the fact that I'd smelled something like this written up before, but nope, can't place it anymore.
Oh my goodness.
Does the Venturi effect just pull your soul out through your mouth?
so Myrmidon is winding up for another shot. If you like, one of your options is to all stand around idly while he's doing
I
this.
want to run up to him and hit him with maybe a pickaxe or a rock.
Okay. So, I think he's going to get another shot off before you can do that. He
Yeah,
is.
I'm hustling and I'm just in my socks on this rock ground. It's just like, oh.
So you're in kind of a zone where there are all these people, and there's the zone where sort of the curtain and the microphone and the teleporter platform was, and then there's a zone where he's kind of got on that, and then you have to climb up to him on the platform of the gun.
Okay.
So I feel like you've grabbed a pickaxe, and you can sprint to like the bottom of the ladder that leads to his platform. Then he's going to
There's
take a shot.
ladder. Cool.
I have a different plan.
Yes.
Tell me if I'm not allowed to do this.
That
That doesn't sound like
me.
you, but so I do hate forgetting things. But there is something that has come to mind actually while dealing with a homicidal man shooting a large gun at us and blowing off Crancor's nose. I'm reminded of the time I went to Alctaria 9, and they had a particularly delightful type of creature called the Alctarian Giga Lizard, which was a huge quadrupedal beast that could turn itself sort of invisible at will. And I would like to change into one of those because they move fast.
Oh. All right.
How fast can you?
So, obviously the answer is yes.
I'll be kind of a gibbering idiot, so just point me in the right direction after I do that, though.
Yes.
I'll take commands. It's like I'll be like a big Rottweiler with like the quadrupedal and like 2 jaws, and they come apart like this. They sort of turn invisible, tentacles, soft, lovely golden hair.
How are we going to convince you to get up the rope? I'm running. So.
Yeah. Well, so I think this turn you're just transforming.
Okay.
So, as you may recall, Stanley Silver had just transformed, and in his immediately post-transforming state, he was just kind of hedonistic, and he had not much of an attention span, and he was extremely forgetful, even for, someone with a billion-year-old memory. So, the Arcturian?
Elkturian?
Giga
Lizard.
Giga Lizard.
Think of me as like a very violent golden retriever.
So how is that the size?
No, more like a bear,
Okay.
like a black bear, we'll say. So not a really big bear, but a pretty big bear.
All right. So
Actually, can I say I have 6 legs? That sounds more exciting.
yes.
More.
You're a
covers more-
hexapedal bear.
I'm a hexapedal giga bear. Lovely golden hair, though. Very soft.
How many eyes?
17.
That's quite astounding. My underwear's made out of some of that hair.
Ah. So just point. Can I just yell, point me in the right direction and give me basic instructions after this?
So a 6-legged golden bear with 17 eyes.
17 eyes.
That sounds
I'm
perfect.
sorry,
And a-
featherweight.
Thing that unhinges.
Yeah, like a jaw that
It's
comes
like
apart.
the underworld vampires.
Yeah.
The-
It looks like a normal jaw, and then instead of up and down, it's more like a circle of teeth.
It goes both
It's a-
ways.
Yeah, it always.
Like jaws down.
Yeah.
Like 3 things.
Maybe it splits into like 4 parts, and it just comes
That's
out
more
flowers.
sense.
Is it like a jaw that's sort of bone sphincter that just...
Like a predator.
Yeah,
Oh, you mean like a lamprey?
like a
mouth?
predator.
Yeah,
but-
lamprey, or a rasp.
Yeah, like a lamprey, but enormous and connected to a lovely hairy bear.
Also,
Also, I
But
said
cold-blooded, because I did say lizard.
I did say that I am not wearing underwear, but I do have underwear that is made of that kind of stuff. I just don't wear it.
It's for special occasions.
Yeah, exactly. It's erotic. It's more for seduction.
Ugh.
Do I have time to say a few words at Myrmidon and maybe make an appeal to them as well?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm giving each of you a chance to do something.
Oh, great. As I would like to actually roll against my rapport on this.
Okay.
And God damn it, Myrmidon! How could you do this to your former lab partner?
So, Myrmidon, you're taking a chance here, and the unfortunate thing is that Myrmidon is a regular human who just has been.
Promoted.
Yeah, he's just like I'm gonna be just like Kringlor someday,
you're
but
not.
he's just been duped. So he's like,
If he's been duped, then he's even easier to redupe.
yes, perhaps. So you're taking a chance here. How did you do?
Sorry. Superb.
So this is going to be throwing him off balance. Oh, the poor guy. All right, well, he is also having a consequence inflicted on him of...
I'm sorry, I should redo my line as well. Kringlor! How could you do this to your former lab partner?
Myrmidon.
So you're saying it to Kringlor?
Sorry, to Myrmidon. I'm just saying Kringlor is gone.
Kringlor is gone.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. He's, I mean, in the genre, the villain never sticks around to have his butt handed to him.
Quite intelligently so.
Yes. Myrmidon now has an uncertainty consequence attached to him, which might come in handy. And he's taken some stress. Because he rolled 3 minuses and a blank.
Whoa, that's no good.
And I have some fate points, but I don't see the need to spend them. All right, so if either of you would like to, you may jump in, or you can just continue freeing the people on the...
I mean, someone's got to free them, right?
Yeah, I know better than to get between our Elturian Giga Lizard and its prey.
Can we assume that by doing this, though, you are instructing them to do the same? The ones with the pickaxes, or are they that stupid they can't figure it out?
I'm guessing that as soon as you've freed someone, that person starts freeing someone.
Okay.
Like, this is going to escalate. We don't have to take 50 rounds for the two of you to free 100 people.
It'd be like rats breeding.
This is a jailbreak, babies. Get out of here.
So how many rounds is that going to take?
1, 2, 4, 8, 16,
Geometric.
Yeah.
32, 64.
Yeah.
There's 100. What's 128 bits? What's
8.
8 rounds. Or no, 16 rounds, because it's 2 rounds per.
Right. And
To break one chain, one person.
7 bits has 128, because 8 bits goes to 256.
Yeah.
So 7 rounds.
7 rounds.
So you have to survive 7 rounds to get everybody out, but you can get out on the 7th round.
Okay.
So
But I'm also melting chains.
that's why.
Yeah.
There's 2 of us doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
6 rounds,
Okay.
because that would be
Because you
64.
go from 2 to 4.
Yeah. Instead of 1 to 2. Okay. Cool.
All right. So he's about to take another shot. In fact, you have enough wiggle room that as of next round. No, you don't. Yeah, never mind.
Do we have run?
All right. I wasn't expecting this, or I would have mapped ahead of time.
Sorry.
So, all right. You two are doing that, and he is going to be taking another shot. Now, you have fallen backwards in this zone of sort of the rock quarry.
Yeah.
It has ambient light coming from somewhere, you're not quite sure where, but it also has very rough ground, which might help you when you're trying to escape being shot at, because you could hide behind some of the rocks and whatnot. Just putting that out there. This is an aspect of the terrain in case you need to invoke that. But I'm going to shoot at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide behind a rock.
All right, so please make a hide behind a rock check.
Sure thing.
You know, Ian, these were really good dice, and then I lent them to you.
That's why he didn't want them back.
Yeah, I kind of ruined them. My apologies. Mostly. That's gonna be a average.
Oh, okay, well, I was great, so you still have 3 points to deal with.
Okay.
Now, I believe you have a 3-point stress box, because we switched it last time to you used your 2-point stress box.
Yes, that's correct.
So you could check off your 3-point stress box.
He's already fired, so there's nothing I can say to adjust that.
For this round. Yeah, I mean, I think we've got a lizard leaping up on top of the gun. I think we have someone who's coming up the ladder for him.
All right, then I'm going to, I'll take the 3 stress.
All right.
That's simple.
All right, so the confused, hedonistic lizard who can't really remember what's going on. Now, when you renewed yourself into this, did you give yourself a voice box?
I don't know what that means.
So
Can you talk?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, they're sort of like rough, but they talk a little bit.
Okay, because by default, your renewal process just sort of generates a random one of a species, but you've learned with practice how to vary that slightly, which is why Yuri hardly ever eats, because when he became a human, he wanted a modification.
Eating is repellent.
All right, so maybe I can do like a kind of a dog voice or something like that. Perfect. All right, woo. No, that's too close to Crankcore. Hold on.
Is it?
I don't know.
I thank you not to make fun of me like that.
Reggie.
Try not to do a Scooby-Doo voice.
Scooby-Doo voice.
Does that establish me as the Scrappy?
I haven't watched a lot of Scooby-Doo, so I don't actually know what a Scooby-Doo voice would sound like. But
Exactly.
Perfect. All right.
Well, you are creating the voice box from scratch, so you can sound however you like.
Well, I don't want to sound like myself. What's the point of that?
No, I agree with that, but...
Sorry, Heather. All right.
She's fine.
Yeah. So I have a voice box. I'm going to take basic commands, we'll say. Sort of, hopefully, figuratively.
So is anybody good at talking hedonistic, absent-minded, irresponsible, forgetful people into taking actions?
I opted not to take that. Rapport?
That would be me.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we're going to have a conversation between our 2 favorite voices. Over to you.
Myrmidon, I cannot.
Pinch it.
Myrmidon, you can't keep going on like this.
But
You're talking to me.
Oh,
Give her
Right.
commands.
Yeah, give her command.
I mean, you can ignore it, but
Think of me as a lizard bear dog.
that's right. I forgot who I was speaking to. Inspector! Inspector, you have to listen to me. You can't just do what you want anymore. Remember your training. Remember your days back at the academy. Remember your device. Your friend. Yes! If you want to see the Tron again, and we all want to see Tron again, it's vital that you point all of your rage, all of your nascent, newly bubbling feelings towards that half man, half dawn.
So how good were you at that report?
Well, let's find out.
I'm galumphing in some direction.
Oh, Lord.
Spend a fame point or something.
Yep. And do it for my nose!
Myrmidons! Inspector, sick howitzer.
All right.
Oh,
That would be 4 is a...
Great.
Great.
all right. So he was great at that.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I'd like to think on the on this planet these were kept as pets. It's a very dangerous planet. All right.
So, your new character doesn't necessarily have the same skills as your old character.
No.
So, your new character is great at something. What is it?
I'm gonna say biting things.
Okay, so you have biting things as your great skill. You have a couple of good skills as well. I'm guessing one of them must be physique.
Yes. I'm gonna say that I'm great at biting things. I'm good at physique, so I'm strong. I'm good at using my natural turn invisible stealth field.
I think you're a full stack developer.
So stealth.
Stealth. So I say I'm good at stealth. I'm gonna say
With an
I'm
invisibility stunt.
yeah with an invisibility, and I'm gonna say I'm fair at playing catch.
You get 3 fairs.
Foraging for berries.
Okay. You don't have to fill in everything right now.
So wilderness survival.
Sorry,
yeah.
need one more?
Well, she gets 3 fairs and 4 averages.
Yeah.
But, you know, I
We
just...
only got one more fair to go. I just want to hear how this story...
Tracking sense.
Tracking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Average at being at peeing on the mat and not inside on the piles of clothes by the
Average.
bed.
Yeah,
Party
you're average
training.
at that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
very
assume also
average.
opening garbage cans is probably something.
Oh yeah, I'm average at opening garbage cans. All right,
All right. So,
I'm a dog.
Great average at fishing.
Ooh, wait, no. Fishing is good. What about licking things?
What about sleeping?
Good at climbing up trees, average at climbing down trees.
Perfect.
so we're going to start with a physique roll as you're leaping on top of this gun.
You did
Good.
good.
I did good.
You did good. All right, so
Done good.
in order to really stick the landing, all you had to do was be great.
So
So you can land gracefully, having missed, or you can be hanging from the barrel of the cannon.
am I in front of it? Like, the cannon would shoot me if it shot again?
No.
Oh, I'll hang from the barrel.
All right.
Ah, the Alchurian giggle lizard. Magnificent beasts. Terrible pets, though.
They're not great at the bathroom.
Very dexterous.
They smell like cinnamon buns.
All right. So the giggle lizard is hanging from the cannon. Near you.
Do I get up the ladder all the way?
Yes. When I ran the paranoia game from you, you guys were terrible at climbing ladders, so I've learned never
Not to make us check the climbing ladder. Just let us climb the ladder.
I'll say yes to that. So, you climb up the ladder, and Myrmidon is not sure what to do because there's a giggle lizard hanging from the barrel, and that has distracted him. So you can kind of get up there, and you don't have anything in your hands because you've been climbing a ladder, because you would have had to have made a check if you wanted to climb with something in your hands. So if you want, you can just punch him.
Yes.
All right.
I punch him in the face.
Okay.
Do we want a physical? Yeah.
Yes, just a
Athletics?
fight. Straight up fight.
Straight up fight. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'm a master of shoot, not fight. Oh, that's good. I did a good punch.
Oh.
Right in the schnoz.
I always feel like I should, because it's well, right? I did well, right?
Superman does
sort
good.
of,
Yeah.
It's sort of tilting me out from a grammatical point of view. It's sort of telling you we did good.
What if you said you threw a good punch?
Oh, okay, that works then. I mean, I'm a giggle lizard, so I shouldn't be complaining about anything.
What if I said all right was one word? What if I started just emphasizing that I'm saying the wrong they or there? And also
I
two.
couldn't tell that from your speech,
Oh,
though.
I can make it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, it's all up to you, our ears, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel confident that I'm mentally spelling giggle lizard differently than you are.
I keep hearing it as giggle lizard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Giga Lizard.
Giggle lizard.
Yeah, it's giggle
10 to the
lizard.
6th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Giga.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not Gigglemancer. No.
Right.
Right? We're all in agreement.
I was going for a Hitchhiker's Guide thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Non-mammals shouldn't giggle.
So, you connect. And he has now taken both mental and physical stress. He did not like that.
Oh, yeah, I bet you didn't like that, did you?
No, I did not like that. I need to come up with a plan. May I have a moment?
Okay.
Thank you. So, he slaps a button that sets the gun on rapid fire automatic, but that is bad for him because all of a sudden everything's lurching. But happily, because it's just going blam, 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 rapid fire automatic. And the good news is that this only affects people who are on top or hanging from the gun. So you're completely unaffected by the rocking of the gun. And Crankor, you're also completely unaffected. And especially good news, Yuri, you are not in
that
any
was
trouble.
Carfax.
Yes,
Or,
but he gets that.
Carfax. You're not in any trouble. Thank you.
For the audio podcast.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Go Team Unaffected.
Team unaffected. So, we're team affected.
Okay.
So, if you are hanging, you're rolling a physique, which is good
Okay.
for you, to not get shaken off.
All right, I'm going to try to dig my claws in.
And you and I need to do athletics to not get knocked off.
Well, I do average at digging my claws in and holding on to not get knocked off.
You could-
Great.
I don't know how to invoke an
I did great
You
at
could
not falling off.
scrabble at all the little
I
sub-guns
did
that
not.
came off.
Oh,
Do a
that's
great
true.
job
And
of
maybe
not
like
falling off.
gain some extra purchase.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Can I slide down a bit and try to hold on to a subgun?
There are lots of them.
Excellent. Can I? Because I did a very average job at holding on.
So an average job of holding on is being shaken off when it's shaking like this.
Okay. Can I try to take out a couple subguns on the way as I'm like, "Arr!"
You could give me a fate point and be hanging from one of the subguns.
I'll give you a fate point to be hanging from one of the subguns.
All right, so I completely failed, and I have fallen off the gun.
Oh, excellent.
So I am on my back on the ground with, I think, bad ankle.
Just we're clear that is a consequence and none other character we're running into, right?
Yes,
Good.
And another curtain
a
drops.
bad ankle.
It is just a foot person.
A bad ankle. What do we think? What do you think we should do? Ah, I see.
Oh, I hope I never come back as one of those. Not to be racist or anything, but
Well, you only renew without control if you die unexpectedly.
oh, I see.
The only thing worse than one bad ankle is two bad ankles.
All right, so the gun is on rapid fire, and this isn't good for all the chained up people.
No.
So I think it's elevated slightly, so it's blasting into the wall, and there are like rocks falling all over the place. So falling rocks is now an aspect in the area where you guys
Oh
are.
no, that's how everyone dies.
Can I just have like Rowan Atkinson face as he's like, oh no.
This definitely, I've seen Star Trek where people get crushed by falling boulders.
Yeah, and then like there's just someone in the background who's like, ah, and then a foam rock hits them and bounces off, and they're like,
You guys understand this genre.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that is happening. You can try to scrabble up on top of the gun barrel now because you're catching the other thing was on his go.
It is shaking a lot, though.
Do you want to like try yelling any commands at me or anything like that? Like
No.
sick? No? Okay.
First job.
All right, that is Crankor's job. Or did you manage to stay on?
Yep.
Okay.
Myrmidon's on the ground.
Your target's
Yes.
on the ground.
Yeah, I think I might just try to drop on top of him.
All right. So gracefully falling is athletics.
Okay.
How good are you at athletics?
I don't think I gave myself
We don't have
athletics.
it. Yeah.
No.
Well, what's the highest that is still available?
Average. So athletics.
That does, like, dogs can be really strong, but huge clumsy goofs.
Especially
So
6 legs.
yeah, they probably
And
get
being a bear
tangled.
lizard.
And it's the first time you're using them.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna do a good job, but I am gonna try to drop to the ground and bite that thing.
Okay.
That I have the impression that I need to be biting.
Well, if you do a good job, you can also do a bite this turn.
Oh, how exciting!
Ooh.
What was my base
Average.
on that? Average. I do an average job on falling to the ground.
So you can either be hurt and bite him, or you can be fine, and that's all you did this round.
I'm gonna be fine and look scary.
Okay. That seems fair. So you're up on top of this shaking thing.
I turn off the gun.
You turn off the gun. All right. So, what kind of gunner skills do you have? Pistol, I believe.
Shoot.
Shoot. All right. Please give me a shoot roll.
Great.
All right. So you haven't ever seen these kind of controls before. They're completely foreign, and you're like, boop, and you shut down the gun. So it's like,
Can the little guns pop back in?
sure.
It's just the same animation they did play in reverse.
Yes.
Exactly. We're using frames.
Is this Rocket Robin Hood?
Yes.
I mean, I was asking optimistically.
I'm sorry. Yes. No. That's the game we've been playing.
yeah.
I watched it religiously. All right, so we come back over to you. The rocks have stopped falling. So it's kind of odd that the rope is jiggling so frantically.
We had a signal for that, didn't we? Does anyone remember what that means?
No!
That was the Evalutron.
It was, but why?
Is it that the Imperial
Someone's
Marines
here.
were on their way?
Yes.
Oh.
And so when the Imperial Marines show up, two things happen.
That's...
You flip the switch,
Yup.
and you jiggle the rope.
Or is it you jiggle the rope, then you flip the
You
switch?
jiggle the rope, then you flip the switch, I think.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Dale. Did we not do that in the right order?
Well, then the rope jiggled, and I guess it has stopped jiggling.
Oh no!
Perhaps it was just the wind up top shaking something. Maybe it wasn't anything.
There's no wind in a vacuum. There's no wind in a vacuum.
Well, maybe it wasn't
So
that
I
then.
think it's the Evalutron.
How many prisoners have we freed?
This is what, round 3?
Yeah.
2, 4, 8, 16.
We could get them to the teleporter.
That is the only option left at this point. We don't know how big the teleporter is, but it's our only shot.
It's a one-person teleporter, so everybody will be free by the time you have put them all through.
Yeah. Because they'll they'll be separated from the chain. Oh God. Does anyone have any? Does anyone have a way to work? Does anyone have any knowledge of working a teleporter? Because I sure as hell don't.
What? Yeah!
Robbie, we've got to get these people out of here.
Myrmidon! Do you understand the workings of Professor Kringlow's teleporter?
No, he told me to follow him, but I don't know how to do it.
He is a very bad professor.
Oh, I think that's actually wrong. I think he's a great man, and someday he's going to teach me immortality.
He never did that to you, did he?
Not yet. I must follow him.
Where was he headed?
He didn't tell me.
I'd like to put my arm around Kringlor.
Okay,
Or,
so you're back in the
You're
rock
in a
falling
different
zone.
Yeah, we're back there.
But
How far away?
Right.
Like 200 feet or
Oh,
something?
so you've caught up with him, okay.
Here, hold on.
I wouldn't even see the rope.
I'm gonna lean over the edge. Hey, Myrmidon, where's the teleporter?
I can't tell you.
But before he does that, he kind of looks at another part of rock wall that, when you look at it, is more curtain. In the earlier shots, it was rock wall, but now when you look at it, it's clearly just a curtain. I think we're going to go out of combat rounds at this point, because you have a couple minutes before the Imperial Marines storm you.
So, the hole is open. The Marines have arrived. So they're probably on their way down here. They want, because this is the thing I'm not caught up on, but the Imperial Marines want access to the Startunnels because they want to use it for their own gains. Is that the idea?
We just don't want to let them have it.
Because they shouldn't. They're not supposed to. Nobody's supposed to use them except us.
Yeah.
Well, no,
You-
supposed
No
to
one is supposed to.
F with them.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
It would be bad. We don't want them to do that.
Okay.
they're clumsy brutes.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you've given your whole story that you learned while you were in sickbay on the station.
That they were just summoned by Duke Digglesworth after his yacht was stolen, and they were unimpressed to have been called away from coffee break. I presume that is correct.
Duke Ellington
Right.
narked on us.
Wow.
They've decided that they have to do something as long as they got out of bed, apparently, this morning.
And the people on the station were kind of clamoring for stuff.
After the 2-mile space worm came out.
Well, most people thought that was kind of pretty, but there were all these ships going missing.
Right.
In the Star Tunnels previous when we started everything.
Okay.
So, yeah, the authorities are really itching to get something done. Chalk up a win.
The other thing that you know that they might not is that once they're up there for 15 minutes, they're going to get sucked through.
It's going to be raining men.
Amen.
Amen.
I was resisting that so hard.
I'm actually going to guess more than a single man and probably more like a battalion.
Of naked men.
At least they won't have weapons. They won't, because the assumption is that the Jiggle, they're on their way down. The switch has already been flipped. We can make that safe assumption. So we can assume that the device will start rebuilding this. If we can get to the teleporter, we can either go to wherever Kringlor is, or we can reconfigure it to go back onto our ship and save everybody.
That's also
We have two choices there.
That's also assuming that the Imperials haven't flipped the switch back.
I mean, I don't.
Anyways,
Their
I'm
tiny
gonna
brains are incapable of
climb
managing
down
the
the
device.
platform
Sure.
and
Yeah.
unfurl. I found the teleporter.
Well, that was easy. Look, a teleporter.
So I want to set the coordinates on the teleporter to our ship if possible.
All right, so you can do that.
Yeah.
It's going to be brutally difficult.
Wow.
What would be much less difficult would be setting them to engineering aboard the Golden Prism, because you've already done that twice.
That's true. Okay.
I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not saying it would be a good idea. I'm saying
it's
that
easier.
yeah. That happened in the first session.
Yeah, I want to
figured.
go back to our ship so that we can destroy the mining device.
Well,
Can I help her with the calculations
Is the
to
golden
set the device?
We just left Station Upsilon. Is the golden prism still at Upsilon?
yes.
So it hasn't really moved then in space.
Right, because we kind of skipped over what happened at the end, but the engines have been disabled.
Right. Okay. Yes. So I will set the coordinates for the engineering of.
On the bright side, a lot of
the
these
Golden
people
Prism.
came
Okay.
from the Golden Prism, so you're sort of returning them to where they were supposed to be in the first place.
The answer to your question is yes, you can help with that, because you need to be legendary to get to your ship, but you only need to be great to get to the Golden Prism engineering. So if you want to help with some calculations on that, this would be a great time to try that.
Okay.
See if
Can
we
I
can aim a
use
few
my-
feet over from where the tarp hole is, from the lube explosion.
Can I use my cantankerous irascible scientist perk in order to generate some kind of advantage to get us exactly where I want to go?
You can find out if you rolled enough before you decide that,
Okay.
because it would cost you a fate point.
Science, don't fail me now. I would like you to have this, please.
Yes, so you are a cantankerous scientist who remembers.
Silence, you fools! I'm trying to think.
All right, so
No, put that wrench down.
he's giving you a boost on this,
Okay.
so you've got a +2.
Okay. So I have done superb.
All right. That is enough to set the teleporter to just left of the tarp in the Golden Prism engineering. And you've got a stream of underwear-clad former miners.
Please form a queue.
All right, so you get about half of them through before the Marines start arriving.
Are they?
I don't know if I should ask this or not. You say just left of the tarp. Very importantly, is that inside or outside the hull?
I am not the one who programmed it. You
I did
should.
superb.
Good enough.
The Marines are all showing up almost nude, with no sorts of no weaponry or armor or anything. I'm assuming.
Yes. So these are the big muscle-bound, thick-headed mooks who have just been yanked out of their ships and are arriving in their underwear. And they were already in a bad mood because they got dragged all the way out to the Kuiper Belt with nothing to do. Because they were like, okay, we have to find Duke Diggleworth's spaceship. And they went and they talked to the security robot. And the security robot was like, the ship is gone. They're like, the ship is right next to you. And the robot is like, no, there's no ship right there. And they're like, it's right here. Clang, clang, clang. He's like, there's no ship there. And they got very
I hacked
unhappy.
the robot so it couldn't see the ship.
Good. That's good.
And so the Marines got called.
Yeah.
They're in a bad mood. They're
Yes.
they're in a foul mood. And now
Kramer, do
they're
you think you could get them to join the line?
I'll see what I can do.
One of them starts climbing up the rope.
That's not gonna work so well, but sure.
That'll work. Yeah.
I mean,
Goes to
that'll-
another ship.
Yeah. Do we know if the tunnel is closing now?
It is, but it's like it'll take like a couple days to fix.
Okay, but the fixing is happening.
The fixing is happening. The beam changed color.
Okay.
Is it
yay.
enough to know that the Imperial Marines, do they know what's happening here? They just see like a tear in something and they've just gone down into it. They don't really know what's going on.
They got yanked in because organics get yanked through this hole.
Yeah.
So they have no idea what's going on.
They just know
they
they've
assume
arrived.
that this is like your fault.
Yeah.
And like some of them are coming over looking angry and like Greek Olympians.
Yes, oh no.
Thank God you've arrived.
Friends, Imperials, welcome to this hellish pit. We too were yanked here against our will by that man.
Just point off camera? Like, what?
There's no one over there, Ian.
Who's over there?
The merman.
There we go. Myrmidon. Right, so
I'm
he's still here.
just like you. I too have very little clue what's going on. And that is a
Am I not also nude?
superb roll on empathy.
Wow. Well, Myrmidon sees them coming and says, "Oh, the only thing better than a man in uniform is a man out of uniform."
Everyone's happy!
Can I, since I don't seem to have anything to bite anymore, can I get distracted and pick up like a wrench or like a huge piece of rock or something like that, and then bring it over to one of the Marines and ask it to throw it for me?
Yes, I think that one of the consequences for this renewal is, easily distracted.
Yeah.
So you absolutely are starting to be playful with one of these Marines.
They can be as frightened of me as they wish, because I'm also the size of a bear.
I feel like these Marines, if anything, have had their fear glands fried out of them.
Perfect.
Oh, the grim darkness of the future.
Can I run little circles around them, wagging my tail?
circles.
Big circles.
Entire butt.
Yeah, a whole butt's going. There's a lot of slobber coming out, but it's enthusiastic.
One of the Marines used to keep one of you at home, so knows how to treat. Yeah. Which is going to be
Knows that
awkward when they find out
special
you're not really.
The good scratches, yeah.
It knows that special spot right behind the second ear.
So everything seems to be going well until the Marines start climbing excitedly up the ladder.
Whoa.
To the gun.
To the gun?
Yeah, because it's easily the most exciting thing here.
It sure is.
Happily, they don't know how to fire it.
Unhappily.
Unhappily, this has not stopped them from trying. So
Someone get those toddlers away from the weaponry.
they're just kind of pushing all the buttons they can find.
Hut, 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 hut.
I think that was a line that Vicky said to the first Doctor back in the 60s. Like, I've pushed all the buttons in the TARDIS that I can find. Oh,
Every
boy.
TARDIS.
That is literally, they've done something terrible.
To themselves or to us?
Yes.
To all of us.
So I would say that they will be the first people affected by the gun's self-destruct, because this is terrible for them.
Well,
They won't know that for a little while, because even though the self-destruct is locked in, it does make a beeping sound that you know what it is because you were up there looking at this stuff, and they don't. They just think it's a cool beeping.
So I'm like sitting here hitting the button on the teleporter, and then I hear this beeping, and I'm like, what's going on up there?
Excuse me, can you teleport me? I'm on the platform, like you said. It's my turn. It's my turn. Can you please?
One
I'm
second.
I'm standing. You told me I had to stand here.
Officials, military people, children,
The teleport's broken.
what are you
Excuse
doing
me,
up there with
someone
that
help me
gun?
fix this teleporter,
Could
because
you
I'm standing on the
hit
teleporter where they told me to
Hit the yellow
stand.
button, please. Just
and
hit the
then-
yellow button 5 times, and then hold it down for 2
So,
seconds.
so now they're jumping off the platform, and laughing while they're doing it. And you still haven't teleported me because it's my turn. I waited in the line for a long time.
Yuri, can you go up there and hit
I'm
the yellow
supposed to
button?
be-
yeah.
Hit the yellow
yeah,
button
just
and hold
Space
it down.
Station
absolutely,
Upsilon.
absolutely, absolutely.
They've,
Sorry, yes, the
they-
yellow
they've
button
done
5
it.
times.
To service the
and hold it down
pepper grinder.
for 5 seconds.
The pepper grinder on Space Station Upsilon has been
I
broken
hit the
for
button
weeks.
for the teleport.
Thank you.
How many do we have left?
I don't know. I don't know how long this was going to take.
When the Marines arrived, you were about halfway through. So why don't we say you're 3/4 of the way through?
Okay.
Okay.
I climbed the ladder.
Okay.
Yellow button.
So the self-destruct is locked because they did as badly as it's possible to do. So you see that the yellow button, it's right there, and it's disabled.
Robbie. Gun broken.
Oh, it's very nice of you to rescue us. Thank you for teleporting us away.
Do I have to get up on the platform? It's several inches high. If I stand next to it, is that good enough for you to teleport
Carfax,
me
can
away?
you come hit the button?
take-
I have to go.
I feel like I could
break
get
a
up there,
gun.
but
Okay,
perhaps
I'm gonna climb the ladder.
wait, you're walking too quickly. I can't follow you this
Back on
quickly.
the platform, please.
I
ma'am.
wasn't on the platform.
Get on the platform.
Oh, but
Were you-
can I
were
be
you not
next
on
to
the
the
line?
platform?
Yeah.
I'm at the front of the line. Oh, that person has cut in front of me now, and he's standing on the platform. But I was the first in line, and I should
Robbie,
be the
little
one.
help here. Little help here. Put me on the control panel. Put me on the control panel. Yes. Hello, ma'am. Yes.
So that man over there is standing on the teleporter
Oh, so he
platform.
is. Look, he's gone. Now your turn. Get up.
Yes. So my request then is,
Yes.
can I please stand next to the platform instead of getting up on it?
Well,
because
absolutely, ma'am. If you're not ready to leave yet, you can stand next to the
Oh,
platform.
I'm ready to leave, and it is my turn.
Then
so
please
I
step
should
on the
go next.
platform.
Can you come over here and give me your arm?
You're kind of glooped on top of the panel.
By all means, yes. As a concierge, I must always say yes to what my guests wish. And while this is going on, what else is going on?
I'm trying to figure out, if I was a massive howitzer, how big is this explosion going to be?
There we are.
It depends how long it's been since you last fired, because there's an energy buildup. So if you put it back on rapid fire, the explosion will be smaller.
Rotating the gun away from anything.
Right? We have that image of the gun spinning around.
Yeah.
I mean, there's very little for it to point at. It was pointing back toward the first zone, but it'll point at some other part of the rock wall.
Since we'll be evacuating this place,
All right, so you're getting it pointing up. What's Crankor doing?
Crankor, any gun this large must have a power source. I'd like to follow the cord from the back of it to wherever it leads.
All right. So, the cord is surprisingly small and seems to have been duct taped onto the gun as an afterthought. But you follow it back, and you get into another little curtained off area where there is a camera pointed at a big screen and there is a film projector, and the film is just kind of flipping because the film has stopped. And it's just kind of
Slapping.
slap, 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 slap.
I guess we better restart the film.
So, the film is of some ladies, and they're in a very different looking place, but they're wearing much the same as the people around you. And doing some dance moves.
I've seen something like this written up before. Perhaps I'll stay to the end. Find out where this goes.
Ed Wood made a movie that was erotica, and it was just like, I don't even know if you can call them scantily clad. I think they had bare midriffs, maybe.
I see.
And this was a horror movie, and they were dressed like vampires or whatnot, dancing seductively while wearing quite a lot of clothing. But you know, it looked like large pieces of underwear or whatnot.
Hot.
Yeah. He was clearly very into it. But,
Thanks, Edward.
I mean, Ed Wood was such a jewel.
So you found an Easter egg in this
Yeah.
campaign. Congratulations.
This is the Ed Wood movie.
To be honest, if this is the witness, then I basically found my favorite room in the game.
Oh God.
I'm just gonna sit here
So
and watch
anyways,
movies.
I get up the ladder. I fantastically unlock the self-destruct because I remember where that was in the manual.
So you can delay it.
Okay, I want to delay it then.
Yeah. This thing's gonna blow up.
Yep.
but you're just...
I need time for
You're just-
teleporting people.
Right, you
Yeah.
want Carfax to be able to slither back up now that he's pushed this lady's foot up onto the platform. He slithers back up and has teleported her away.
Yep, and I managed to crawl my way back on the platform myself, exhausted. Yes, come along. Yes, you too, yes.
All right, well, anybody who wants to play the next annoying person that Carfax has to teleport away can have a fate point.
Hello. Excuse me?
This platform's right there.
Is this teleporter okay for organic material?
It is exclusively designed for organic and inorganic material.
Well, I've read a study that teleportation is not very good for you.
Oh, really?
Yes, apparently it can give you cancer later in life.
How later in life?
Well, I don't know. I didn't read all the way through the study, but I saw it written up in the newspaper.
I was probably somewhere at the end. Goodbye.
All right, so there's some more annoying people. And the Marines have set up a recruiting booth, and some of the humans are trying to sign up with them. And some of the other Marines
Could I have somehow found a biscuit to eat while all this
I like
is
that we're in the
happening?
middle of anti-war satire now. This is good.
Paying for a fate point for a biscuit?
Well, yeah.
We have like 5 minutes left. Spend your fate points.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Otherwise, I think there's going to be a soccer game starting up underneath the howitzer that has been temporarily...
So all I want to do at the end is get one of the Marines to hit the teleporter button for whichever is the last of us to leave.
Well, presumably you.
Yeah.
I mean, one of us has to stay behind to not only operate the teleporter, but also deal with that.
We can come back later.
Can we?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
The
I'm not
Marines-
convinced.
The Marines seem reasonably happy to just goof around down here for a while anyway. They seem to be in good shape
can
and well
climb the
fed.
rope.
They can climb the rope if
They've been warned.
They got 2 days before that seals up. I think they can just climb the rope all the way out.
There's a Marine ship at the top of the rope.
Oh, but my orb.
It's...
My orb in the device, Robbie.
The Marines have it.
Oh.
Somewhere, I get an inkling of sadness due to some sort of coffee table thing. Then I go back to eating a biscuit.
So I think this is going to work. I think Carfax does not have his orb.
It's after you.
And then you eventually loop Carfax onto the teleportation.
Well, maybe you can have him ride me.
Okay. It's for
At
one at
this
a
point,
time.
I'm ready
but
for anything at this.
You know, a teleporter accident at this stage in the game is fine. We're gonna end up with a really goopy bear dog.
So it's just you and the Marines left at the end. And you have to talk one of them into doing what you tell him to do.
Hey, you there, Corporal!
I'm a private, not
Whoa,
a corporal.
private! No, don't talk to me that way. Hit this button.
But you thought I was a corporal, and it's not. You're not supposed to call someone a corporal who's not a corporal.
I told you to hit the button.
Ooh, no.
Feel emotion.
I will give you a kiss if you hit that button.
Okay. He hits the buttons. All right. So, all of you have now shown up in engineering on the Golden Prism in orbit around Space Station Upsilon. Engineering isn't very big. The good news is that there's an enormous cargo hold on this ship that's pressurized and has tons and tons of space. The bad news is that so very many people have declined to leave engineering. So you're teleporting in here. You may recall that there was a lube-based explosion near here lately. There are several people wrestling with a bit of tarp because it had been sealed against the hull and they've pried it up and now there's atmosphere going away. There's a long queue for the head, even though there are lots more around the ship. They're all trying to get into this one, and there's kind of a screaming match happening. One of the Marines who got teleported is pushing a bunch of random buttons in engineering. Everything's shut down, but he's like, I don't understand where the rest of my squad is, and he's punching a bunch of buttons. And everything is going really great for you. And
We've done a good job here.
you have. And as you look out the window and you see the sun in the distance, and some of you are wondering, is that little dot, is that Earth? You kind of pan up and you look up at Space Station Upsilon, which is being gnawed upon by the whole worm. Which is where we will end this. So, thank you.
Back to normal.
Make a hole again, put it back in the hole so it can live in the walls.
What kind of hole would you make for a whole worm?
An
A
entire
wormhole!
We'll name it after you.
Patent that.
So,
Back into the Carfax hole.
Carfax Seahole.
Thank you for watching, Dice Friends. This has been part 3 of Enigma of the Startunnels. We have been playing the Fate Core system, and that's the end of this story.